Crayola is a brand known for inspiring creativity in budding artists. Classically known for their tangible crayons, markers, pencils, and paints, they've stayed true to their roots but have added a surprising digital spin. There's no denying that kids have become increasingly more tech-obsessed, so how do you keep them interested in offline activities? If you're Crayola, you introduce some cutting-edge digital platforms that bring their drawings to life. We're going to head down to check out Crayola's Color Alive and give you a sneak peek at what other colorful products they will be unveiling this year. Now, Crayola is doing something pretty ingenious. You're taking your tangible products that you're sort of known for and you're making them appeal to a tech-obsessed generation. So tell me about Color Alive.
Yeah, so Color Alive, like you said, we're jumping into the virtual world of creativity. We know that kids are creating both in the physical world and the virtual world. So Color Alive is blending those two worlds, and we're really just taking creativity where kids already are. The first product that we have is action coloring pages. So it actually allows kids to color their coloring page, their character, and then bring that character to life. So that's the action coloring pages. And then with Easy Animation Studio, that allows you to bring your character to life and then animate it.
So we're starting with the action coloring pages.
Correct, yeah, so we'll jump right into the action coloring pages. So I mentioned the kids will color the page and then the real magic happens with the Color Alive app. So if we click on play and hover over the page that the kids have colored, we'll then be able to bring our coloring to life. So you'll see this dragon, now that I hit 4D play, the dragon will hop off the page just like I colored it. So at that point you're able to interact with the dragon. If I tap on the dragon, you'll see the dragon breathe fire. I can also drag the dragon off the page. I can flip it around and we can do some selfie mode here, take a picture with it. So there's numerous ways for kids to interact with the page. There's also one special effect crayon per page with Color Alive, with the action coloring pages. And if kids want to see the special coloring effect, all they have to do is scan the page as well and switch over to special effects mode. And in that mode, kids can see their color come to life using the special effects crayons.
Is there something special in these crayons themselves, or can you use any Crayola crayon?
So really you can use any Crayola crayon to color these pages. You will only get the special effects with the special Crayola Color Effects crayons. But to bring the dragon off the page, bring it to life, you can use any Crayola colored pencil, any Crayola crayon, Crayola marker.
So with the action coloring pages, it looks like you have a couple of recognizable characters here. So tell me about the different characters that kids can bring to life.
Absolutely. So kids love to interact with their favorite characters. So we have great licenses in the action coloring pages line. Currently out in the market, we have Skylanders and Barbie. We also have Minions and Monster High launching in May. So we just talked about action coloring pages. That's about bringing your character to life. Easy Animation Studio actually takes it one step further. You bring your character to life and then you can animate it. So the process here is kids can choose any one of 10 characters to animate. So we have here our superhero, there's also a fairy, there's a monster. So there's a number of different characters for boys and girls to interact with. Now once they design their character using the included Twistables colored pencils, they then use their device to scan the character. And once you get the character in the device back here, that's where the magic begins. So with the mannequin, you can see a whole bunch of cool markings on here. The reason we have those on there is for the device to actually react to how we pose the mannequin. So if I want to create an animation here, all I have to do is capture a few poses. So first, we'll move his arm up here, and you can see it actually reacts to how I have the mannequin posed. So we'll get him to wave to us. So we'll do the next pose, and we'll do one more pose with the arm down. Now at that point, our smooth action technology takes over, and we get full animation with just a few poses. Now, typically with traditional stop motion, that would have taken 20 to 30 captures in order to create that smooth animation. With our smooth action technology, it literally is just a few poses to create full animation.
And then you can just go crazy with the patterns and the shading and make this guy look however you want.
Absolutely. So once you get the character animated, you're able to then design your own background and upload that into the app. You're also able to add sound effects, you're able to add voiceover. So really you can go wild with your imagination. You can take pictures with your device and upload that as a background. You can animate more than one character and include it in the animation. And Kids, when they're all done, they'll have a video of up to 2 minutes that they've created that they can share with friends and family.
So we're going to be talking about the Crayola Creations thread wrapper. Now, immediately this makes me think of, you know, those hair wraps you used to do back when we were teenagers in the 90s. I'm assuming you don't want to stick your hair through this machine, but you can customize all sorts of things.
Yeah, absolutely. You can customize anything from your school supplies to your fashion accessories, such as your watches and bracelets, and also your headbands, as well as beauty items. So if you thought about like your toothbrush, your hairbrush, things like that. So you can pretty much customize anything that you have, anything's possible. So what I'd like to show you is how do you customize your stationery items. When we spoke to girls, the one thing that they wanted to customize was their school supplies, because they wanted to kind of put their own personal color and stamp on their stuff. So I'm going to take our Crayola twistable crayons and show you how you can kind of customize it with the unique threads that we have to offer. So you can choose up to 3 different colors, or you can pick one color. So I like a bunch of bright colors, so I wanted to do 3. I figure it's fun to kind of have pops of color. So what you do is you get it started by wrapping the thread around it real quickly, and then you just take your Crayola twistable crayon, you put it inside the unit, and then you just start twisting it. And instantaneously you start seeing it threaded up.
So how much thread do you get initially with the kit?
You get 6 unique Crayola colors, and then you get 2 empty spools, so you can kind of thread any thread that you have lying around your house on those Crayola thread bobbins. So why don't I show you that, because that's pretty amazing in itself. So if you wanted to add more than the 6 colors you had, what you can do is put on our attachment for rethreading. And I have this mellow yellow color here that my grandmom gave me, so it's one of my favorite colors, but I ran out of it, so I want to put it onto the Crayola bobbin. So basically what you do is you put the thread that you have and you put the Crayola bobbin on, and then you just start winding it up. And you can see that that yellow mellow is going onto the Crayola bobbin.
Now, if girls are into sewing, this is very similar to, you know, when you rethread a bobbin on a sewing machine.
Correct. It's exactly like that. That's what we're hearing. We're finding for moms alike. They remember that. And actually, girls are pretty aware of that, too. And it's really easy for them to do. In addition to this rethreading like you do on a bobbin in a sewing machine, it has an additional feature where you can actually customize and dye your threads. So you can take the Crayola fabric markers that we have. We have 10 unique colors, and you can apply this color to a very lightly colored thread. So you simply take the Crayola marker, put it in here, and then as you're winding it, it's going to start dyeing it. So you're seeing this razzmatazz color show up on the yellow mellow thread.
And this is a permanent marker, it's a fabric marker?
Correct, it's a permanent marker, so you don't have to worry about your designs kind of wearing off onto your skin or your clothing that you've spent some money on, but it's permanently dyes it, so you can create tie-dyed effects or ombre effects to your threads.
So if you're going to use the markers, you have to sort of use it on a lighter color thread, right?
Yeah, it works best on lighter colors because that way you can kind of see the color transfer a lot better. But not only can you put it onto the thread there, but if you've already created something, let's just say I did something in a white thread, you can draw on your outcomes too. So here we have something where I kind of did a cheetah print using the fabric markers, and you can see how bright and brilliant the design is, and it's just using our black, yellow, and green markers.
That actually came out really good. I would have never guessed that you drew that on there. So other than just using the markers to create patterns, you can actually create patterns by wrapping it different ways.
Absolutely, that's really right. So there's color blocking is really popular in fashion. So if you wanted to, you could wrap it once using one color at a time. You can also get some really cool random effects like this one. So this is color blocking done with a random threading effect. So it kind of has a messy look, but really high-end, high fashion.
I think this one's actually really beautiful.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I mean, obviously it's a rainbow, so it's very colorful and fun. But again, it has that professional outcome, fashion runway feel to it, made easy for tween girls 8 to 12. I mean, this one has a really thin threading application to it. This is actually a ruler, but you can also wear it as a snap bracelet, but you can kind of see how much fun that is because you can see the items underneath it.
So your only limitation is that it needs to be able to fit through the machine.
Right, absolutely. It was designed safety for children, so it's got a 1.5-inch diameter, so you can put a belt through it, a nice ruler through it, sunglasses, anything that's flexible. So this headband, it's flexible, so it'll go through the machine. Again, it's all about upcycling, it's all about reusing, repurposing, recycling, finding the things that they have, something that's old, and making it new again.
All right, so we know that you can make art with crayons, but now you can actually make the crayon itself into art with the Crayola Crayon Carver.
Absolutely. Now, if you think about it, the crayon has been the most treasured tool, art tool, for a kid over the last 100 years. And now we're giving kids a chance to create and personalize and customize their crayon for the first time ever. So Why don't I go ahead and walk you through the process? So we've got this motorized crayon carver unit right here. You start with your crayon, so you basically put the adapters on like this. You put it right into the unit, and once you've got it locked into place, you basically pick your tiles, got 40 different tiles that basically you can place in here. So 26 letters and 14 different symbols. And right now what we've done is, since we're at Toy Fair, we picked hashtag NYTF.
Perfect.
So we'll go ahead and do this. Shall we do it?
Let's carve our crayon.
Okay, here we go. So carving a crayon with the crayon carver is easy as just tracing the little green tiles that we've placed right here.
So you don't actually place the dial anywhere near the crayon, it's actually mirroring what's over here.
That's right. So again, for safety purposes, we keep the drill bit right over here, right over the crayon, away from where the kid's hands are, and the kid can just follow along and trace the outline of the item. Usually you have to just trace maybe like 3 or 5 times in between.
How hard is this for kids to pick up the first time?
You know what, it's really easy. I mean, honestly, it's just like tracing around an outline. So if a kid can trace an outline on line art, they can definitely do this. Do you want to give it a shot?
So now I accidentally just jumped outside of the Y. Is that going to carve that in there?
Only if you were inside the depth where the bit can hit, so you're fine. It basically keeps it right inside your traced area.
So it's kind of foolproof.
Yes. You got the T going great there. Actually, let's lift it up. Let's take a look, see how it's looking.
I like that it seems to recognize when it's over the crayon, and then the motor doesn't start until then. So
Yeah,
that's a good safety feature.
We put that safety feature in because, again, we wanted to make sure, and actually the bit itself won't even start if you don't have either the crayon inside or if you have this closed. So we've taken some precautions to make sure it's safe for kids.
I think this is actually really relaxing.
This is one of those items where, you know, when we've tested it with kids have loved it so much, you almost have to pry them away from it. They want to keep doing more and more crayons. You know, they want to make messages for their friends, they want to put their names on it, they like doing different hashtag kind of call outs, so it's great.
Where did this idea originate from? Did you see that kids were trying to make art out of their crayons, and then you thought, well, let's give them a legitimate way to do that?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's really great. I mean, you can see there's a lot of different influence that comes from the crayon itself, and folks are already creating different art and carvings around the ends of the crayons, and so, you know, we were certainly inspired by some of the things that we saw out in the marketplace, and found a new play pattern and allowed kids to customize their crayon in a new way that they've never been able to do before. So once you finish, you take this little brush and kind of clean it up there. I know we didn't do much with our hashtag, so our hashtag may not look as pretty as we'd like, but there you go. There's your NYTF, New York Toy Fair Crayon Carver 2015.